So rather than see things as fixed and unchangeable, we really see that people with high hope see the same situation as having opportunities, right? These are challenges. They are not a fait accompli, as we say. It's not a done deal. It's not fixed. That it's a challenge. What are you going to do to make change happen? Now, if you would, I'm going to show you a little bit about how negative emotions and positive emotions work. So if you're in a safe enough place to do this, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes for a moment. And I'd like you to imagine a lemon and get a really good image of that lemon. I'd like you to just notice a slight hint, a smell of lemon, just a wisp of it. Imagine that you can smell a little hint of lemon. Now, what I'd like you to do is take that lemon, put it on a dish, and cut it in half, all with your imagination. But as you cut it in half, notice that there's a little bit of lemon juice that comes out on the dish. And when that happens, notice that the scent of lemon gets a little bit stronger. Now, if you would, pick up half the lemon and put it right up under your nose. Hold it there for a moment. And take a big inhale and imagine that you can smell the lemon even stronger. Now what I'd like you to do is bite into that lemon. Grind your teeth into that half a lemon. Grind it in there. Now, I'm betting that most of you produced saliva, right? Now you got to think about that with me for a second. There's no lemon. There's no knife, there's no dish, there's no lemon juice, there's no lemon smell, nothing. And yet, when you imagined it, it changed your biochemistry. We did that with just a few seconds. I want you to think about what happens when we're chronically worried and ruminating and thinking and imagining about negative things. Well, what's going to happen is we're going to produce cortisol and we're going to produce adrenaline. And it's going to impact our body just like you did. You changed your biochemistry just through your imagination. Now, this is an interesting way to put it, right? Because if you think about this lemon and the imagination, this is a negative, but I'd like you to take a moment and imagine somebody, and again, if you're in a safe enough place to close your eyes, imagine somebody you love and who loves you. And take that moment in and take a moment to feel the resonance. Just imagine them right in front of you, right here with you now. And I want you to take a moment to feel where this love resides in your body. With your hand, just put it where you feel that. Now, I obviously can't see you, but I'll bet nobody has grabbed the back of their knee and said, yo, I feel it right back here. I'll bet you your hand is on your heart, and rightly so, because that's where oxytocin is going to be pumped out, the love hormone. And again, we did this with our imagination, right? We made a choice about what we're going to think about, and it changed our biochemistry, as one of my students so eloquently put it. So we have a choice, lemons or lovers. So the encouragement and what we find out from high hope people is that they focus intentionally on beauty, benefits, and blessings. They do not concentrate on negative. And what will happen is if you let intrusive negative thoughts have their way with you, they will pull you down. They will rob your energy. They will create anxiety because it's activating an evolutionary response. You know, the folks who won the Nobel Prize for the telomeres were very clear. The opening chapter in their book was, our cells are listening to our thoughts because our thoughts go right into our body. And the telomeres, the things that make us sick, and they're the little aglets that kind of hold our cells together, that keep our DNA from unraveling. Well, they break down, they get short, they get worn, and the number one thing that wears them down is our thinking. So this is not just, fanciful. If we let one thought in, okay, one thought's not going to hurt us. But if we let an avalanche of thoughts come at us, this is where the problem is. So an intrusive rumination is something that you intentionally need to stop. And there's a couple of different ways that that can happen, right? We need a 1-2 punch. The first thing is when you're in a downward spiral, to use a declarative sentence. There is another way to look at this. It's not a question, because if you're in a downward spiral and you have nothing but negative thinking, you say, is there another way? That negative thinking is going to say, no. But if you use a declarative sentence, there is another way to look at this. It starts the ball rolling. Then you can ask the question, what can I do to make change happen? It's the 1-2 punch when it comes to negativity. I'm going to share a secret with you. You don't even have to have the answer to this. Because the truth is, just by pausing, just by using the phrase, there's another way to look at this, you've already exercised emotional self-regulation because you've stopped the downward spiral. Now, if you can do something about it, make change happen, that's great. But just using the phrase will help.